Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. In fact, I'm going to be talking about a lot of light in the sky, because if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Out of Reach, or it could be that I could say something is on hold. The reason why something can be out of reach is because tomorrow we are having the second full moon of this month, and it is at 8 degrees of Aquarius. And Aquarius rules the future, so that could be what is on hold right now in your life. Or it can be that you may have a future dream or a future plan that can be a little bit out of reach for a lot of different reasons. And that is because actually with 10 planets up there, 5 of them are on one side of your chart and 5 of them are on the other side of your chart. And that can indicate a sort of a separating aspect since they're not all together. There are also 5 retrograde planets right now. That is an awful lot. And that is because Uranus is retrograde in Aries, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn, Saturn is retrograde in Scorpio, and now Venus is retrograde. It is still in Virgo, but it's retrograde and it will be going back into Leo for a while. So with 5 retrograde planets all going backward, things can really slow down right now. There are also 5 planets in the fixed signs, and they are all harshly squaring and opposing each other, and fixed signs do not budge. And that is because Aquarius is a fixed sign where the full moon is tomorrow. So that full moon is being opposed by the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in Leo, another fixed sign, and all 4 of those planets are being squared by Saturn in Scorpio, and Scorpio rules finances right now. So it can be that if you've got your eyes on the future, it can be that there is a lack of funding right now since Saturn in Scorpio is squaring the full moon in Aquarius. Or it can be that you've got your mind on parties and fun and children's affairs and entertainment. And because after all, this is summer, and those 3 planets in Leo are opposing that full moon. So you might not have your mind on your future right now, which is too bad because that's where the full moon and a lot of light are in Aquarius. There's also the possibility that there's a lot of doubt and hesitation around, because 4 of the 5 retrograde planets are on each side of the full moon. And that means that with Saturn retrograde in Scorpio, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and then the full moon in Aquarius, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, and Uranus retrograde in Aries, with those 4 planets all going backward around the full moon in Aquarius, it means there can be a lot of doubt or hesitation or rethinking of something that has to do with the future. And that could be a reason why things are out of reach right now, as people can be realigning their priorities or asking more questions about things or wanting more details. And it can be that the problem is financial as well, because there is a T-cross among cardinal signs. And that is because Mars in Cancer, which rules our emotions and our homes and our families, is being opposed by Pluto in Capricorn, which rules management in large government agencies or large corporations right now. And since Pluto is retrograde, there can be a change of management, or there could be a change of the rules and how things are done. And because Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio, but they're going head to head right now, it can indicate that there is a fallout or a division in financial planning right now, and that is why something can be out of reach. And that's because you can have a great plan, but without the money to support it, it isn't going to go anywhere. So a lack of funds could be a really big reason why something isn't able to be accomplished right at the moment, or it can be on hold. On top of that, it can simply be that there's something very volatile that could occur at any time, and that is because Mars in Cancer is being squared by Uranus in Aries, and that Uranus is pretty well backed up. Those 3 planets in Leo are trining it. So it can be full of energy, and part of that could be destructive energy. So expect the unexpected with these 2 malefic planets squaring each other. And then that Uranus is also squaring Pluto in Capricorn, which means there can be sudden rebellion or challenges to authority figures. And that could be another reason why something appears to be out of reach right now or on hold. So, can your dreams still come true? Well, yes, it is possible to make your dreams come true, but it isn't going to happen very quickly right now. And the reason why they can come true is because Mars in Cancer is being trined beautifully by a very staunch Saturn in Scorpio, and also by Neptune in Pisces, which is very strong because it rules the sign. So there is a grand trine in water signs, meaning that this can be a good time, if you are very, very patient, to make your dreams come true if you allow for delay, and if you can find some sort of financing or money that has been put away. In other words, it could be money that is coming from an older member of the family that has extra savings. Or it can be that if you have a dream, remember Neptune in Pisces in particular rules dreams. If you have a dream and you certainly have the energy or motivation, that's because Mars in Cancer is trining that Neptune. You may be able to come up with some money, not enough money, but some money to make a dream come true, since both those planets are being trined by Saturn in Scorpio. Saturn is retrograde though, but it will go direct next week. And so there is the possibility of making a dream come true, particularly if you're willing to concentrate on forgiving and forgetting. Remember, Pisces rules charity. And also if you can mend a few fences, or you can be conciliatory with your family members. In other words, even if a family member is a little bit upset, they could still agree to back you as you're trying to make a dream come true. So this is a really good time to associate with your friends or your family members in order to make a dream come true, because they could be the most understanding people right now. And it will take some understanding and some healing and a lot of extra time and patience, but I think you could still make it. It's just that at the moment, under the full moon tomorrow, something does appear to be out of reach that is connected with your future. You can see what's there, but without the financing or without the plans firmly in place yet, it may be sort of an uphill battle right now. Okay, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, this is a time when you can be full of a sort of a change of mind or a change of mood, or with conflicting opinions about things, and you could certainly want everything your own way, Aries, because Uranus in your sign is being trined beautifully by the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in Leo. So other people can be really wanting you to party with them or travel with them or just get something underway right now, and you can be full of enthusiasm to do that. However, the problem is that Uranus in your sign is retrograde right now. It hasn't been for a long time, but it is now. And in fact, it is joining other planets. In fact, there's 5 totally that are retrograde right now. So it's you actually, Aries, that probably is going to slow down. And it may be that you're wanting to make some sort of change, but there can be people that are standing in your way and making that a little hard for you to accomplish right now. And that is because Mars in Cancer is squaring Uranus in your sign, and that means that there can be family members that are not too happy right now, or there can just be too much busyness around your home, and people may be so busy with their own plans they're not really listening to yours instead. And Pluto in Capricorn is squaring that Uranus, which means that you may feel like challenging authority figures or established protocols and procedures, but other people are not in the mood to let you do that, and so that won't happen. And that is why something could be a little out of reach right now for you. But that doesn't mean you couldn't make a dream come true. It just means that there's going to have to be less resistance to your ideas before they can succeed. And right now there is a lot of resistance. And so I would give up and go on a trip if I were you, Aries, and sort of let the time pass for right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I think that with Venus in Virgo, even though it's retrograde now, trining your sun, and Pluto in Capricorn still trining your sun, which it will be doing for years, it simply means that your long-term security is fine right now. There may be some rules that change about it, but it's still okay, and it is firmly set in place, which is good. However, with Venus retrograde, it simply means that you too have got to go back. Remember, when these planets go retrograde, it's better to go back and check over things. And what you need to do is stay firmly resolved to improving your health. That's what Virgo rules. Or your bank book, by going over small details and economizing if you can. The reason why you should keep doing that, Taurus, is because Venus is about to leave Virgo, and when it goes into Leo, which it's about to do, it will square your sun, and Jupiter will be there as well, and that could lead to excess extravagance and sort of going overboard, and you don't want to do that, Taurus. So this is a time to keep a cool head no matter what happens, and try not to spend any extra money or be lavish in your entertaining right now, because Saturn is in Scorpio and it is opposing your sun, and it is going to go direct next week, which will make it stronger, and that means there could be some hidden debts or bills or credit problems that can, or tax problems that can come back to haunt you. That's why it's not good to go overboard. And if something seems out of reach right now, it may be out of reach until you clear up some past financial matter. That's what you should attend to instead. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when I think you're very lucky that that full moon tomorrow in Aquarius does trine your sun, because that means that you can hear from somebody who might be a little unusual. They might be very creative or inventive. They might be a little ahead of their time, but they can certainly want to contact you, and they may have some good news about a future project, even if it's a part-time project, that could really excite you, Gemini. So I hope that you're open, you keep your eyes and ears open, particularly tomorrow under the full moon, because there can be someone who could even exhibit some sort of wonderful support for you, and they could come right out of the blue with that, and I think that would delight you, which is good. So the full moon isn't hurting you, and all the planets in Leo are sextiling your sun as well. So you are in a sort of a good spot right now, Gemini, and I think that you're going to be able to get through this period of time where there can be stiff resistance, but not against you, or there can be a standoff about money, but that might not be what concerns you right now, Gemini. Perhaps you're just looking for something new to do, and I think it might be headed your way. All right, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when you can choose to go down one of two roads. First of all, there is, remember, a T-cross in cardinal signs, which means that Mars in your sign is opposing Pluto in Capricorn, meaning there can be a standoff about money, or people in management can be changing their minds and making new rules, and you may not like that because it could have the effect of cutting budgets or trimming budgets in some way, or even merging departments, and that may not go over too well with you, Cancer. And also Uranus in Aries is squaring that Mars, and so there can be something very unexpected, even disastrous or violent, headed your way, or it can be quite challenging to you right now because there could be somebody around that wants to rebel or wants to have everything their own way, and you would not be agreeing with that at all. So you could spend a lot of time and energy knocking heads with other people, and that would really wear you out, Cancer. Or you could take another road. Mars in your sign is being trined by Saturn in Scorpio and also by Neptune in Pisces, and it's you that could make a dream come true because you'd have a lot of energy with Mars in your sign, and that steady Saturn in Scorpio is backing you up, and when it goes direct next week, there'll be even more backup for you. So yes, you can make a dream come true with patience, and if you allow for delays, and if you are looking over your budget, and if it's not a lavish budget, at least it's the kind of budget that could afford what you need to do, and you would be in control of it. And that's the road I think you ought to take. Why don't you forget the people that are changing the rules and are being rebellious? Just wipe them out of your mind, Cancer, and concentrate on what you really want to do. And go for it, because you've got some support around and some money to make it possible. So I think the timing is good. You just have to concentrate on what you want, not what everybody else wants right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, that full moon in Aquarius tomorrow does oppose your sun sign, where you have the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. So you can certainly be in a good mood. You can either have good news or hear good news, because Mercury's in your sign and it represents news. But things can still be out of reach for you or on hold right now. And it can be due to past financial matters that are coming back to haunt you, Leo. And that's because Saturn in Scorpio is squaring all the planets in your sun sign. So even though Uranus does, in Aries, does trine the planets in your sign, it is retrograde right now, a little weaker, and it's being challenged by other planets. So that might not help you out too much. And so you may realize you're sort of on your own, and that the future is a little bit out of reach right now. And by that, I mean that something that you're very interested in doing, maybe even that you love to do, that could be ahead of its time or associated with the aviation industry or space or computers or electronics or the music field, that can be a little bit out of reach, because you may want to do that, but you may not be able to afford to do that all the time due to higher bills or credit problems or even a tax problem. And that's why you've got to sort of pull in your belt right now. You're still very popular, and when Venus comes back into your sign, you'll be even more popular. So there could be news about an engagement or a marriage, either your own or somebody else's that you like very much. Just remember, you can't afford to go overboard, Leo. So spread your good cheer around, but not your money. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, I don't think you have much to worry about right now. And the reason why is that Venus is still in your sign. That can make you feel pretty good. You can be anticipating something delightful that can be coming up. So you may not be too focused on your future. You could be wanting to get along with a loved one really well, because there are a lot of planets in Leo right behind your sun sign, and Venus is actually going to go back into Leo. So you may spend the end of the summer involved in news that has to do with weddings or engagements or children's affairs, or you may decide that you even are thinking about traveling more and more, and that could be appealing to you. Management really likes what you're doing, Virgo, so even if you do take a little time out to enjoy yourself in one way or the other, Venus, after it leaves your sign, will go into Leo, and it will come back into your sign and join Jupiter there as well. Jupiter's coming in on August 11th, and so management is really going to sort of lean on you more and more, Virgo. So I think this is a good time for you to sort of go on vacation or just relax while you can, because you're going to be very busy, particularly by the middle of October, when Venus and Jupiter get together in your sign, and you're really going to be well liked and very, very busy. So try to take a time out right now, as I don't think anything is beyond your reach, because I don't think you're aiming for something right now, but you will be this fall. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, it's very fortunate for you, just as it is for Gemini, that the full moon tomorrow in Aquarius is trining your sun. That simply means you can hear news, or simply by being around people that are sort of future-oriented, it can reflect well on you, and you may have somebody coming your way, Libra, with some sort of unusual offer that might just be part-time, or it might just be temporary. It might even be just a one-of-a-kind type of deal. But I think you ought to listen to them, because they can be seeking you out because you are peaceful and diplomatic, and that would certainly bring out the best in you, Libra, which is good. You need to look toward your future, and you need to not be involved in the clash of planets that are in that T-square in cardinal signs, because Mars in Cancer is squaring your sun, Uranus in Aries is opposing your sun, and Pluto in Capricorn is also squaring your sun. That means there can be power struggles around you, and you had best stay out of them, Libra, because nobody is going to listen to your mild manner or your diplomatic efforts. People can be going head to head right now, each with their own opinions, and being quite unwilling to settle. And that's why there can be stiff resistance. And as well, somebody can be leaving, either you or someone else, and that could create some sort of abrupt departure in your life. So that's why you need to really look toward your future and just concentrate on that if you can, Libra, and leave all the tension alone that other people are causing. You're not causing it, so stay out of it. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, with Mars in Cancer trining your sun and Neptune in Pisces also trining your sun, it is you too that could make a dream come true. Perhaps when Saturn goes direct next week, you will realize that you have been rather patient and hardworking, and even though you can be a little doubtful, since Saturn is sort of a doubtful planet, you may realize that over the last 2 or 3 years, you have built up a lot of resources, and you can afford to make a dream come true, and you may even have good ideas about how to do that. You may even have tested some of them out so that you're on very sure footing right now. So that is all to the good. What can be bothering you is that the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in Leo are squaring Saturn in your sign, so other people can want a party, and you might be asking yourself, how can they afford it? If they invite you along, you might be wondering how you can afford it, and probably you may decide not to go along with something like that, because I don't think you're in an extravagant mood right now. And also the full moon in Aquarius is squaring your Sun, and that simply means that the future is out of reach for you and everybody else right now, or simply on hold. And it might be, for in your case, that you're just not sure you want to spend the money. I think you've got the money, Scorpio, but you may not be sure of how much money you want to spend right now on a future project. But I think that that will work itself out after Saturn leaves your sign and goes into Sagittarius in September. You'll have the answers by then. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, there is a trine in fire signs right now because Uranus in Aries is trining your sun, and the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in Leo are trining your sun, which is great. So if you just want to sort of party, or you want to start something new, it can still be out of reach for you, not the partying. But if you want to start something new, it might be on hold because that Uranus is retrograde, along with 4 other planets that are as well. And so I think with the full moon in Aquarius tomorrow actually sextiling your sun, you might hear about some great future enterprise, but you may not quite be able to connect with it at this time. And that can be because behind the scenes you have pressing bills or debts that have to be paid off. Remember, Saturn is in Scorpio right behind your sun sign. And when it goes direct, it will start moving forward, and it will come into your sun sign in September. And that's why you've got to attend instead to business behind the scenes, Sagittarius. So don't take a big leap right now until you have closed a few doors behind you and solved a few problems that are best to get solved right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, remember I said there is a T-square in cardinal sign, so that Mars in Cancer is opposing your sun sign. But because Venus in Virgo is trining your sun sign where you have Pluto, you may feel that you are in a good position to change the rules, or to make policy, or to explain policy to other people. I would be a little careful how much effort you put into that, though, Capricorn, because Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio, and since they are going head to head, it simply means there isn't enough money around to do something right or to do something properly, or else people are fighting about it. So I don't think the budget is in place yet for you to really go ahead with something. But it might be. Remember, the title of the show is Out of Reach or On Hold. So something might be on hold for you right now, Capricorn. But it's best that you wait, because by September, both Venus and Jupiter will be in Virgo trining your sun. that's when you should really go ahead with what you want, Capricorn. The timing will be perfect then. So be patient. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, that full moon tomorrow is in your sign. It's sort of taking a beating because there aren't planets in any of the other air signs, so there's nothing fortifying it. And there are 5 planets in fixed signs. The Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter are opposing the full moon in your sign, and Saturn in Scorpio is squaring it. And that simply means that there isn't enough money around for you to do what you want or to carry out your future plans, and your sign is the sign of the future. So you really will have to be patient, because if you get in an argument about money, you are not going to win it. It's just that you can be seen fully and people can understand your ideas. But when it comes to paying for them, that's why they're out of reach. Nobody's got the money. Or it can be that people are distracted too much with their summer fun right now, and they are not really willing to listen to you. So you do have to be a little bit patient. And I would keep thinking about what your future plans are. But they are on hold right now, I think, Aquarius, due to financial considerations or budgets that are not in place or won't stretch far enough for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, the thing that might be out of reach for you is the money. And it can be that even though Saturn in Scorpio is trining your Sun, and Mars in Cancer is also trining your Sun, which indicates a grand trine in water signs, there can be plenty of sympathetic support for your dreams. But it's probably going to take a family member or an old friend or some account that you've had somewhere, or even an inheritance, to help you get what you want. And then still there may not be enough money. So remember that you've got to go for quantity or quality, not quantity. If you can only do one thing and do it well, that would be a step in the right direction to making your dream come true. So be true to your highest good right now, Pisces, because there isn't much stopping you other than the fact that there isn't a lot of money to do anything with right now, but everybody's in that boat. So at least you've got people that have energy behind them and determination, and they can help you out instead. Money doesn't solve everybody's problems. It just takes rolling up your sleeves and getting to work in order to get something done. So give it a try, Pisces. All right, thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.